The quality control myth. How much is your guitar actually getting looked at? Stay tuned. Hey, it's me, Roger Rabbit. Baxter
and Jonathan.
Sorry, just thinking about Casino Guitars.
What's his Jessica? What is her name?
And Jessica. No, we were talking about QC earlier this morning. The whole game was. We were kind of digging into it for a while and having some fun with it. And then I started looking at numbers, and because we do our own QC inspection when guitars go out, and we're pretty good at it.
Pretty good.
But we make mistakes too. Sometimes we miss things.
We are human. We're not AI.
But we're working on that. ChatGPT will rule us all. Now, then we sort of scaled it up to like the next sort of like, we're a small shop. We can kind of run fast and loose, pivot, change, do things quickly. We only have like 450 people that work.
That's it. It's very small.
In the showroom. The warehouse is bigger. Can you imagine? We'd all have to be standing like this up against each other with our arms out because the
fire marshal will be here. Hey, you guys can't have that many people in there.
They don't work here.
What's wrong with you?
No, but how first? So let's break it into another shop that's bigger, that's shipping out more. Like they have their own shit system. Then you get all the way up to like gigantic operations. But let's back it up. Let's go to the manufacturers. Let's go all the way back to Fender, Paul Reed Smith, Gibson, Loudon, Castadosas, Echo Parks. Like Gretsch. Yamaha, all the monster manufacturers and the boutique cats, and they have to check their guitars before they go out too. So there's a lot. So in production, there's a thing called fallout. The fallout's a lot higher than people think. Usually, where things just aren't good enough.
They're not right.
Yep. They just won't meet quality control. They'll either get scrapped or they get sent back to be reworked.
Yep.
Now, let's say that it gets to final inspection. There's still a lot that they have to do. I will say PRS with their SE line is one of the top of the business. They get their stuff from the overseas manufacturing, and kits here gets unboxed at PRS in Stevensville, Maryland. They check everything, ship it back out. That being said, there's still things that happen.
I mean, when you really think about that, that's wild that they do that.
It's insane.
I mean, that they pull those things out of the box.
Nobody else does.
Look at them like in any sort of real way, repackage them, and then send them out. I mean, it really is wild.
It was cool. I remember we did the factory tour when I was watching. We were filming. This is years ago. God, years ago. It's probably changed now. We're filming the dudes doing it, and they're just like, they're pretty meticulous. And then one guy had a Gibson in the corner that it was his own personal guitar. And people are like, why does he have a Gibson? It's like, well, you can like Gibson's appearance. Anyway, so they're doing the other thing. Fender has a great QC within the custom shop, within the production. I've seen that as well. Not within their overseas stuff, though. That just kind of comes packaged, straight to the warehousing, straight to us. It's kind of how that works. So there's no step in between. But how many people does it take to do this? It's a lot.
I mean, it would have to be a lot, especially if they're spending any amount of time with that guitar.
Now, Martin has a team there that does the final inspection.
Right.
And I know the guys on it too. The awesome dude on it. And he takes his job really seriously.
Right.
And I will say, Martin Guitars, I haven't found a blem on one of those in a long time.
It hasn't been a long time since we've had anything wrong from a Martin guitar. I'm trying to think of...
Taylor's pretty spot on too.
Taylor's pretty darn spot on.
It is within the electric guitar world more.
It is. Why? That's weird.
It's funny when you start to think about it. So we're going to focus more on electric guitars a little bit here. It's neat how it led us there, right?
My God, I didn't even know. This is a revelation.
Taking you down this thing
right here.
No.
Off camera.
There's a lot more like functioning parts that can go wrong in electric guitars. Obviously, even let's taking the electrics out. You have the trim systems. You have all sorts of strange like nitro lacquers that are working against things that are not supposed to be attached to you. You have the poly finishes rubbing against things. You have it's all sorts of odd things. Bolt on versus set necks.
A lot of working parts. Some of the parts. Yeah.
But it does tend to, we get a lot more issues with electric guitars than acoustics. It's that's not to say there weren't a lot of acoustic issues. There used to be when the quality control wasn't as good, but they've stepped up hardcore and they've gotten under control. Now, so let's say your guitars get out and they go to your shops. Sweetwater is what was really baffling me. I was trying to do the math on this.
So it's a 5-point inspection.
55-point inspection. Some of the stuff's pretty simple, like, is it in space in your hands right now? Does it exist?
Check.
Are there wood parts on it.
Check.
It's, you know, like tuners,
6 strings. Yes.
pick guard, like that stuff. You can just like, yeah, check.
And I get it, right? Like
It's a good sales pitch. You get it.
Check. Yes.
So at the peak of Sweetwater's sales during the pandemic, they were selling 1,000 guitars daily.
A day. That's nothing. Nothing.
15,000 individual orders. Like there's but 1,000 of them were guitars.
I mean, that's just guitars. Imagine the, yeah, good God.
So let's say they're shipping out 1,000 guitars daily.
Yes.
Do they have 1,000 inspectors at Sweetwater?
Say no.
They can't. It's just not. It's not there. So the inspection process has to be
Relatively quick.
It's got to be really quick. You got to factor in, you know, so at an operation like that, not saying, I think Sweetwater does a bang out job, but there has to be issues of, you know, presentation of what we do versus reality when there's situations like that.
I mean, because like, God, I mean, I've never had a scenario, and to be fair, I've not ordered a guitar from Sweetwater. It's always other stuff, but I've never had a scenario where they didn't ship it out that day. So I'm assuming it's similar on guitar.
So the 55-point inspection happens before it's processed, maybe? Has it been checked when it comes?
Maybe just when it comes in, they do the 55-point inspection, then put it back in the case, and put it back in the warehouse.
Maybe. I don't think that. I think they have to date their inspection. So it's been done. So it gets dropped in there. But it could have been dated and it's not really done. They did the inspection when it comes in. That would be stupid, though, in my opinion. I think they would actually inspect it. I'm going to say they inspect it.
I'm sure they look at it, right? When it's like ready to...
You got to make sure the strings are there.
Yeah.
And like make sure it exists in space.
But I mean, if you know, like fill us in the comments. Because I could see inspecting it when it first comes in, and then, you know, maybe, hey, you see the little sticker says, oh yeah, it's been inspected, so you ship it out when it's processed, when it's bought.
No, but let's say like we're like processing through like 5 to 6 guitars a day. It takes time.
Oh yeah.
You know, like let's say we do that, and like, you know, and we're sort of working through, like, you know, make sure that everything works. We'll check it when they first comes in, and you know, let's say it's a customer order. That's pretty much all we have to do, though. We'll check it when it comes out, run through it, check everything on the frets, check the electronics.
I mean, we've been doing this a while, but not so long that I don't remember when it was like, oh wow, maybe we'll sell a guitar today. Haha, maybe someone will come in the shop and buy a guitar. You know what I mean? Like, I remember those days vaguely, right? A long time ago, but now it's not that way at all.
I mean, there was a day the other day when I was like, there was people trying to talk to me. I was like, I want to pay attention to them, but I was busy, like, working getting stuff shipped out. I was working with the customer line and had somebody on the phone.
Yes.
And someone's like, "Can I say, hey, how much is this guitar? How much is this guitar?" They were just curious.
Yeah, those days are long gone with that. But I remember that, you know. And most of my Guitar Store working days prior to Casino Guitars were that. Wow, I wonder if anyone want to buy a thing today. You want to buy what guitar? The high-end guitar? Weird.
That one? That's up there with the comment.
No, you know what? but once you hit that certain like stride and guitars are just constantly moving and going out the door, it changes things, and it's different.
Well, and that's how a lot of, like, you know, the big shops from, you know, one of my favorites, Wildwood Works, they have their own like shipping department. We're still the shipping department. We have like
we may that bubble wrap, we probably touched it.
No, we're involved. There's guys that do it with us, obviously, but then we're also doing it sometimes too. We're writing the letters, we're getting everything prepped.
I mean, I know you like to imagine that we turn the cameras off and sit on the green couch and smoke cigars the rest of the day and lounge and play guitars.
We do?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Can we do that?
I just want to take a nap. I want to watch some Paw Patrol or Wildcrats and just take a nap.
That's great napping.
Like, put a little Wildcrats on. It's like, I don't really care if I miss it.
No.
Paw Patrol in particular.
Oh my God.
If you go out.
Paw Patrol, but you know the song really well. You've seen Baxter's version?
I do it. It's from years ago. I did an acoustic version on YouTube. I just did it as a joke or just a little gift for my kid.
We should revamp that one day.
And like,
just like the whole shop doing it, like full band.
I really love the theme for Paw Patrol. I make it an emotive, emo version, more, not emo, but emotional acoustic version.
Yours is like if, what's his name? What's the guy we love?
Mumford?
No.
Rustin Kelly?
It's like if he did it.
Yeah, Rustin Kelly. This is well before we knew anything about Rustin Kelly.
It was dirt emo.
No, so when let's say a guitar gets ordered here,
right,
and it's a custom shop or a production Fender or an acoustic guitar, we have a certain level of steps and inspection we do.
Yep.
Make sure the guitar exists.
Yes.
It lives in space.
Yep.
There are strings on it.
Yep.
We check the strings. We usually put a fresh set of strings on, check the truss rod. We make sure everything's functioning. We check the rosewood board. We're just make sure there's nothing has developed over the time of it being a guitar, like any finish cracking or wood cracking, if it's acoustic in particular. Make sure no checking has happened that is not supposed to be there. If it's a custom shop, there's checking there. Even
I was gonna say that's change. That changes because a lot of what we sell are relics.
We even the OS ones, they come in with such a. We always request light finishes because everyone wants that relicing themselves.
They wanted to, age on your own
quickly. So we have a very thin finish that we've come together with.
Strip.
It's Sean applies it in the back behind the bathroom
with a paintbrush, 4-inch brush, slops it all.
That'd be really weird.
That'd be
gross.
Hilarious.
No, so it begs us to question, like, if you are outputting so many guitars, like it does take time.
Yes.
Like it can take 30 minutes to inspect a guitar.
And we'll tell people, hey, like, we wanted to get your. Well, I mean, I feel like we communicate pretty well most of the time. Hey, we're gonna get your guitar out, but we want to look at it and make sure it's right. So it might be tomorrow morning or whatever.
It might be. And sometimes when we're putting in a fresh set of strings in a setup, I like to let it sit. And it's
otherwise it gets to you and it doesn't matter what we did really. I feel like you're doing some interesting math there.
I was like, well, just thinking like the minutes. So let's say it takes 30 minutes of guitar, right? Just being like, yeah, and you sell 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
You need 30,000 minutes, but there's no way it takes them 30 minutes. They probably got it dialed down to like 2.5 minutes. I think you do it in 2.5 minutes.
I bet so. And I bet you got to be moving. Like, I bet those guys are hustling.
Yeah, they get boom, boom, boom. They're checking this stuff, boom, boom. Everything looks good. Play, have like an amp, you plug it in, just run.
Plug it in. You just, you're not playing it. You're just not gonna.
But that being said, though, we've gotten guitars from the nicest manufacturers in the country that we get them, we plug them in, nothing. Silence or static. Pickup doesn't work. Ground wire's not attached. Some pickup's dead. All sorts of funny things like that. So it's not. We've had stuff come out where the control panels just fall out. That they forgot to put the screws in.
It's rare, but it's happened.
It's it's just funny things with guitars. It happens because it's production, mistakes are made. But that's what sort of begs me to question, like, how does that get through final inspection?
Yeah. And
so that's part of our job as a guitar shop. And the other ones that I know are great at shipping, again, Wildwood Guitars, Music Villa, Carlos at Chucky Levy's. I just like to say that sometimes, but the guys that actually take the extra step to do it and instead of the love and make it happen. Yeah. We try to as well. But again, like, we're human. I mean, we make mistakes sometimes and things go wrong.
Give it a few years.
That's it.
There'll be upgrades.
We're working on it. We're working on it. But so just stay tuned. Keep an eye out. It's just food for thought is what I'd say there. Food for thought.
So we're able to get old Neuralink where we can just, Elon can guide us through our everyday activities.
But yeah, we need help with that. I would just make everything so much more efficient. I feel like there'd be like a to-do list running through like my inner eye, ocular vision. That'd be horrible. Be great. I don't want that. I love it. I'll just forget to do things and get through it.
Probably for the best.
I know. Thank you. Well, thanks for joining us. Let us know your experiences with quality control when you receive a guitar, if it's been goofed up, if it's great, if it's perfect, if they've always been perfect. For the most cases, darn pretty good out there. I mean, most of the resellers you work with are great.
Even when we've seen like dips of bad quality control, most people are still getting guitars that are fine.
No, and when we get the ones that's our job. When we get the ones that are not right, we send it back.
Yes.
Or we fix it.
Whatever.
It's pretty simple.
It's not rocket science.
That's kind of it.
That's about it.
I think we got it under control there. But again, thanks for joining us. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the old bell.
And as always, peace be with you.
Yes.
Make some great music.
Yes.
Enjoy your instruments.
Don't get sued by Marvin Gaye.
Don't get sued by Marvin Gaye.
It's possible. I know he's dead.
That's something we shot the other day, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
He's lurking.
I could
kills the Marvin's up. I could strike it anytime.
We never know. We forget things really quickly. We have mental, non-Neuralink issues. Thank you again.
It's interesting.